Chairman, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, pray silence for Solomon Nye, Chair of Portsmouth.
Vice Chair
of Portsmouth Property Association.
Thank you, John. Good evening, PPA members and esteemed guests. As David has said, I am Solomon Nye, Vice Chair of the PPA, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce our distinguished top table guests this evening. Firstly, Ian Lee, Chair of the Portsmouth Property Association, as he has said, not just once, but 3 times a chair. Ian, we have been very lucky to have your commitment on the PPA. We're honoured to welcome David Fuller, former Lord Mayor of Portsmouth and 2-time Lord Mayor at that, a man who doesn't just rise to the occasion, but quite literally rose above it all by here abseiling the Spinnaker Tower. This we share in common, David. Joining him is Lisa Tremorin, former Lady Mayoress, and David's sister, as he said, a wonderful example of sibling support triumphing over sibling rivalry. At least I hope in public, and I'm not sure what happens elsewhere. And of course, we are sorry not to have Clive Empson MB this evening, and I'm sure we all wish him a speedy recovery. And I, for one, feel like a poor substitute sitting on a top table, but I'm delighted to be alongside such dazzling dinner companions tonight. I've been on the committee for 5 years, and I'm looking forward to stepping into the role as chair later this year. Alongside me, a second mention in the speech is Ellis Sims, who's a senior surveyor at BTG Edison's, our main sponsor this evening. And we welcomed Ellis last year, and he has been great in making new connections. We are choosing collaboration and connections over competition, support over rivalry, of course, but we do have to welcome 2 other property associations this evening. Representing the Southampton Property Association, we welcome Natalie Kyle, Chair, her first time as Chair. Also from Edison's, and we are delighted to have you here with us today, Natalie. Also representing the SPA is Chris Clark, who has been an incredible 30 years as Secretary for the SPA. We are thankful to have such seasoned property professionals amongst our committees. Much like Neil, we do enjoy hearing a yarn or 10, sharing their wisdoms or follies. And from the Portsmouth Property Association, we welcome Dario Di Felici, Chair, also his 3rd time as Chair, from Building Options Limited, and thank you for travelling all this way. On to our speaker sponsor, Chinook Shaw. We are delighted to welcome Susan Shaw, Director of Chinook Shaw One-Off, and who I believe once climbed Ben Nevis, Scarfell Pike and Snowdon all in one weekend. Clearly someone who enjoys a challenge. I can just about manage Portsdown Hill. Perhaps we can entice Susan to do that Spinnaker Tower abseil. And joining her is Jane Renton Rose, and I see a theme of family running through this thread because she is sister to a current committee member, Harry, and also granddaughter to Neil A. Shaw, who was chair 37 years ago of this association. During her day job, she is in television production, and she's worked on programmes including The Hairy Bikers, Jeremy Vine and Lee Mack. From siblings to show business, we seem to have it all this evening. And finally, we are truly honoured to welcome our guest speaker, John Lloyd CBE, who we all know is certainly more than quite interesting. A Portsmouth connection, working on radio and TV, host, and from host to producer, we certainly don't want John to be behind the scenes tonight and look forward to inviting him into the spotlight. I won't take up any more time. I certainly don't want any klaxons ringing. So most welcome attendees. Could I now invite all Portsmouth Property Association members to be upstanding and help me in raising a glass? To our guests. Thank you.